Hey WTFers, I'm Mary.
I'm Erica.
And today Erica is going to show you how to change a bike tire.
Yay! Alright, so you get a flat and you're out on the road. Hopefully you have the bag on your bike that has all of your tools and tubes and COs in it. Rule number one, make sure you have that bag. There's been times before where I've gone out without it. I've come off of winter training where I'm inside and I go off for my first spring ride and I'm like, oh crap, I don't have my bag. Let's hope I don't get a flat. Rule number two, make sure you have all of the items in that bag to take you through a ride. One tube and one CO, 2 cartridges is not going to be enough. I'll go over kind of what, ideally I like to ride with. It might be a little bit more on the, over-prepared side, but at least this way I know that I can get from point A to point B and back to point A without any issues.
Okay.
So this is my fancy little bag that I have. It just sits right under here, right underneath my water bottles. It's just full of all of my stuff. The items that I have are generally 2 tubes. I put them in a bag. Number one is because I can suck all the air out and keep them nice and tight and compact. The second reason I keep it in a bag is because if it ever rains, these stay dry, just a little bit more protected. Then I have this tool, which is going to be like your multi-purpose Allen wrench. It has wrenches and stuff on it. This would be more of like if you heard something rattling on your bike and you needed to tighten it, your water bottle cage came loose, you could just use that to kind of make it tighter. Now I have the tire levers. These are crucial to changing a tire. If you do not have these, you are not getting your tire off your bike. That's when you just call somebody for a ride home because these are the only thing that's going to get that off. Number 3 is my CO2 cartridges. I have 3 of them, and I also have the truck that goes on them. And I'll show you this in a little bit when I change the tire, but you screw it on, and then, right here, and then you fill it up that way. I do these instead of a pump. I do know some people that have like pumps. I mean, they make bike pumps this little. I just don't want to be out there pumping away when I can just fill it up. The other thing is these CO2 cartridges come in different PSI, generally are different sizes. I go with the larger size so I know that I have enough to actually fill it up and then maybe even a little bit extra if I need to top it off later or something. And then the last item I have is always money. Now here's a good little tip and trick. Sometimes you could tear your tire up more than just a flat. You're gonna hit more than a nail hole, more than a screw, and like gash your tire. Once you put your tube back into your tire, if you have a gash in the actual tire, the tube will come out and pop. It doesn't matter how you fix that, it will pop again. So what you can do is with money is you can put it inside of your tube so it sits like this inside of your tire and the tube will press up against that and it will seal that spot. And we've actually done that before with a goo wrapper to get Mary through one of her rides. So it was a big enough gash that she needed a whole new tire, but that was able to get her at least back to her car safely. And then you also just have money in case you need to buy anything. Sometimes it costs money to go, into parks and into the canyons and stuff. So it's just always nice to have money for food or beer after you're done. So that's a must-have. So that's generally what I have in my pouch, and it does all fit, which is shocking, but it will actually all fit in there. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys how to take the tire off of the bike first, because when you first get a flat, that's the first thing you got to do. The easiest thing to do is to get your chain into the lowest rings. It will help you remove the tire a little bit faster. If you're not already in the lowest ring when you get the flat, then you can just downshift on your gears and then just pick it up and spin the back tire so it automatically goes all the way down. Once you get that done, you're going to want to release your brake to allow the tire to actually come off. If you don't do that, then the brake will catch on the tire and it won't allow it to come off. You come down here and you're going to loosen up this back spoke. Loosen that up. Okay, so now the tire's loose, but it's still on your bike and you have the chain. Now changing a tire is hard, but changing a tire in the back is even harder. Trying to get it off of the actual bike with working with the chain is one of the trickiest parts. Luckily, I've gotten a lot of flat, so I've gotten a lot of practice with this. So you just pull it off like that, and you're good to go. All right, so you have a flat tire. Now you gotta take it off. So this is probably the hardest part of any tire changing, is that you actually have to get this tire off. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your two little bike levers, break it apart like that. You're gonna go inside the edge of your tube and you're going to insert this and pull it out. Now it has a little hook right here that you can actually hook onto your spoke if you wanted to. I don't like doing that because I worry that it's gonna like pop it out or make it kind of go weird. So I just leave it off like this. Then you're gonna take your other lever, go on the same side, and then you're just gonna take it and you can either go away from you or you can pull it towards you if you want, if whatever you feel more comfortable with. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you, you're gonna get some knuckles, you're gonna scrape it up, you're gonna come along here, scrape that up, pull this way and do that. It's just all part of the fun and games of changing a tire, especially when you're out on the road. So, you have it all the way off on one side. I don't remove my whole entire tire. I only open up this one side and take this off, okay? Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna go in and pull the tube out. Once you pull the tube out, all the way to the stem, where the air comes in, just kind of open that up and you pull it out. Now here is a really good tip. You need to check your tire. Something made this flat, something punctured your actual tire in order to pop the tube. So you just take your finger and you just run around all the way inside and you try and find that popped it. You'll find a thorn, you may find a little piece of metal or something like that. Once you find that, you remove it, make sure everything's all good. You're gonna open up a new tire that's gonna be all nicely folded, it'll be all flat, and then you'll take it and open it up. Now some people do inflate the tire a little bit just to kind of give them a little bit more to work with. So we'll just pretend, movie magic, that this is inflated a little bit. So you're gonna go back and find where the spoke or the little post goes through. You're gonna put it in, and then you're gonna wanna make sure that when you put it in, you insert it without twisting. If you twist it as you put it in like that, it's gonna twist and pop. It's gonna cause more problems than good. So you wanna make sure it's all the way flat as you insert it. And I insert it up against the tire. I don't worry about the rim right now. I just put it up against the tire and make sure that as I'm putting it all the way around, it does not twist or get pinched. Now you can see it's kind of in. The final step would be to start where the post is and to actually get your tire back in to that groove. So you're gonna have to kind of insert it a little bit. Now when you do that, you pull over so you can actually see your wheel well, and that way you know that your tire is all the way in. If you pull it over like this, you're gonna pinch that tire. If you see any of this rubber hanging out and you inflate it, your tire will pop again. The brand new tube that you just put in. It's okay because you have another tube, but let's just keep the one safe. So as you insert it and snap it down, the more and more you go, the more it's easier to just keep working it all the way around. Now, this end part is probably one of the trickier sections of the tire, and this is where your levers come back into play. So you're going to take it and you're going to insert it on one side, and you're just going to slide it down, and as you slide it down, it will actually insert the tire. So you take this hooked part and you go in versus when you're getting it off, going out. So you're going to go in and run it down, and that's going to help snap that tire. Oh, just kidding. Or you just muscle it on. Just muscle it on. Wiggle it on. Okay, so then you make sure, check it, you know. Make sure that you don't see any of the tube. Make sure that everything's nice and clean. And there it's on. Now, here's another big mistake that people don't realize. A lot of the road bike tires have these kind of valves, and there's different kind of valves, there's different kind of ways. There's a Presta valve and there's a Schrader valve. This is where you have to loosen it in order to fill it up. There's been so many times that I've seen people try and pump up their tires when this valve is up and shut, and they put the thing on and they blow a whole entire CO cartridge on it and it doesn't fill up, and they're thinking, what did I do wrong? So all you gotta do is just make sure that this comes all the way out in order for the air to actually flow inside. Okay, so now I have my CO in my chuck. I just insert the bottom and you just screw it all the way up until you hear it pop. Now there's tons of different kind of, like these, the fillers. I've had kinds that you push a button, I've had kinds that you pull a flap, all different kinds. Once you put it on, you know that it's punctured. Then you're gonna make sure this is out. You just put it on the tire and you just push. You can hear it filling up. Okay, lastly, just make sure that this valve comes down. So you can hear the air on this valve. That's what releases it. So you just want to make sure that comes down, so if you bump it or whatever, no air is going to come out. So super easy. Not really, it's taken me a long time of doing that. If you want to have a really great experience, if you're out on the road and especially during a race, practice. I mean, I sat down, I put on new tires, I changed tires, I practiced doing it. So it just became very more, I wouldn't ever say it's an easy thing to do, but it's just more efficient at it. It didn't take me as long. The first couple of times it took me way too long, and now I can probably do it in about 5 minutes. So for the sake of the video and a little bit of editing magic, I'm actually going to put back my race wheel on the back of the bike. I didn't change this tire because this generally isn't something people ride. The tire I did change is just your normal tire. So all you got to do is when you have it back, just kind of hold it steady. You're going to lower this part or open this part up. Lower it down onto the gears. Remember that you put it on the lower part of the gear. You just snap it back down. Tighten up your little skewer. Get good and tight so your wheel doesn't pop off. Not too tight so you can't get it back off. And then just make sure that you put your brake back on. Of course, you'll realize that when you go to stop. There you go. You're good to go. Ready to ride again. All right, well, that was my fancy bike changing. I hope that you guys liked it. I hope you learned something. I tried to throw in some tips and tricks and some maybe different ideas than you've heard of in the past. By no means am I a professional or really know what the hell I'm doing, but it's worked for me in the past, so hopefully you've learned something. Let me know if you guys have any tips that I missed on changing bikes, if there's something that you think you do that works a lot better. We'd love to hear from you. So let us know, like, subscribe, all that jazz. And thanks for watching.
Thanks.